All right, y'all. Hello and welcome to another episode of Chilindrinas Más Finas with your girl Nicole Patrice. This week we know marks the Super Bowl coming up. Super Bowl, I believe it's 65. Let me double check that. Of course, I don't have notes on that, right? Of course not, but that's okay. We can look it up. Y'all don't mind. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Yeah. It's 57. Oh, child. Okay, we had the 65th Grammys, right? And then we were at Super Bowl 57, LVII. Come on, Roman numerals. I still remember. All right, and so yes, for the ladies, I know that the highlight of the Super Bowl is going to be the halftime show because we know our queen Rihanna will be performing, and we haven't gotten shit from sis except a bunch of lingerie, which I love. The Savage Fenty line is dope as hell, even though I keep having issues with the little bra hooks snapping off, but that's fine, Rihanna. We can't win them all, but let's work on that, okay? Other than that, she's been working on the Savage X line. She's got activewear now, the lingerie, of course, which I'm sure is responsible for a lot of babies. Get y'all some for Valentine's Day. I am not an affiliate or ambassador, but I could be. I actually got mine on under here now. Both hooks on my bra today work. Both hooks. So if you are a Rihanna fan, she hasn't really done much since the Lift Me Up single came out for the Wakanda Forever soundtrack, which got some good reviews. I didn't see too many negative reviews. I was not a huge fan of this song for her voice. Her voice has matured over the years. I definitely commend her for the way she attacked the song. But it just was the song was just kind of boring to me. To be plain, I just feel like we could have did our queen a little bit better than that. But of course, bitch better have my money. Was like the mark of like her like basically giving the industry a big F you, and then she went into her billionaire branding bag and Savage and all of that, and the rest is history. So we have waited on Rihanna to come back, but the Super Bowl is not just about Rihanna, ladies. It's about you planting your flag for Valentine's Day. This is for the ladies. If your man is a football fan, which he probably is, I don't know a lot of guys that don't like football. If they don't like football, it kind of makes me question them a little bit. But I mean, they got to have some other like masculine activity outside of football to like compensate for the fact that they don't like football. Like if this nigga don't like football and he like to like hand paint like crafts and shit, like I'm gonna give him the side eye. Like you need to be like leather working or some shit on the side. That's why you don't have time to watch football, like, because it's a little questionable for me. But I'm not shaming you guys, that don't like football. It's other things you was out here doing, I'm sure, that took up, a lot of your Sundays. Christ, I guess, would be one of them. But other than that, I just can't figure it out. So for my football loving girls, y'all already know. So I'm talking to you ladies who don't partake. Now, I used to be a huge sports watcher back in the day, of course, when I didn't have much other obligations, between my job and my kids, and then now working a lot of side hustles and a lot of other activities that have my interest. I don't have time to watch it. And I was spoiled. I was an 80s baby who grew up watching sports in the 90s, and this was in the days where you didn't have to pay 50 fucking different subscription services to watch your favorite teams. Like I could just turn on ABC or WGN to watch the Bulls, or even WCIU 2060U used to show the Bulls games during the year. Now everything's on TNT or I forgot the other sports channel, the Chicago one. But I'm not paying 50 niggas. Excuse me. I'm not paying 50. I'm not paying 50 goddamn labels. You know what I'm saying? TV networks or streaming services or platforms just to watch my favorite team. Like it's absurd. So I've gotten to the point where I just said forget it. Like I did the NBA TV one year and then that was it. Like that completely blew me. So I'm not an avid watcher. I can't tell you who is in the Super Bowl. I see now it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. So, ladies, this is your crash course on what you need to know about Super Bowl Sunday. If you're trying to get the invite to the Super Bowl party, or bitch, motherfucking top tier, okay, for the girls who know the cheat code, you throw the Super Bowl party, hello, and you stay the fuck out the way. So, hey baby, where you was watching the Super Bowl at? Oh, you didn't have plans, or oh, you was about to go over da 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 da's house. Well, you know, I was gonna make some chicken wings and whatever the fuck this nigga like. Make that shit. Make his favorite cake or his cookies or whatever the fuck this nigga like to eat. Okay, make sure your screen is more than 50 inches. Okay, adequate seating. You cannot be over there tripping about people spilling stuff, so you better cover your shit in plastic or whatever you gotta do, okay, with the grandma couch. Hook it up so that it's a very sports audience friendly thing, okay, event. And hey, it doesn't hurt to have a few of your girls over there to, you know, play cheerleader or service workers, you know what I mean? Not that kind of service, ladies. Don't do that. Don't do that. So yes. So if you can get the game on your screen, on your big screen, provide meals, food, adequate space to lounge, not be tripping about them making a whole lot of noise. Now you would have had to build up to this point. So if he knows you're a Debbie Downer, if he knows you're a prude, if he knows you're gonna be nagging and, you know, irritating, then he ain't even gonna think about it. He gonna be like, nah, babe, it's cool. I'm gonna go to the bar, or I'm gonna go hang out with my boy, blah, blah, blah. But if you already know that he would rather be with you, or not have to make that trip over to your house after the game is over, if, you know, he want to cuddle up with you a little bit or whatever extra after the game is over, then you make it easy for him, you know. So have the wings, have the whatever the food his go to. If he vegan, get the vegan wings. Do what you gotta do, honey. The chips, the dip, you know, the beer, the soda, the water. Let's go. Team paraphernalia is a plus, okay? Deck the halls, bitch. The way y'all go out for Christmas and all of these other holidays, or the way you expect him to go out for you on Valentine's Day, you should be going out for his favorite sports, you know, championship event, okay? So Super Bowl is huge. Men look forward to this shit for like fucking weeks, months at a time. Like I said, I haven't been watching, but if I've been watching, I'm pretty sure I'd be the same way. Like, right now, the thing that gets me going like that is like the House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. So like whatever you're a huge fan of, imagine this is that ultimate event. So like, remember when Insecure had their finale and how you was planning your party to watch Insecure? That's the energy you need to be putting into the Super Bowl party if you want him to be with you at this party, and you're planning, like I said, your flag and putting your bid in for your Valentine's Day treatment, okay? Now you can't be mad if he don't return the favor, if you blew it, or if he just an asshole. That's something you should have assessed before you start putting all of this effort in. But if you know that this is your guy, this is the guy for you, and this is what y'all on, let me give you my little tips on how to make that Super Bowl party official, okay? So one of the things, like I said, is you want to have the paraphernalia, you want to have the big screen, you want to make sure everything's set up and ready to go, so he has no worries. He just come in, kick his shoes off, kick his motherfucking take off his jacket, and he sit down and he ready to enjoy the game. If you can keep the distractions to a minimum, no calls from your mama or whoever else, none of these other people that's gonna come over there and bring the vibe down. We partying. You want to make this as like fun and ruckus as possible. He want to make noise and he want to have fun. If you want to talk during the game, make sure you're adding something of value. So it helps if you just do a quick little, you know, roster check, see who in, see who out, see who had problems this year, who had injuries. Bonus points if you know what trades happened that may have affected the outcome of the season for his team. Please know which team he's rooting for. That cannot be underestimated. Don't get in there and be thinking he a Eagles fan and the whole time he a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Like, you blew it already. So if you should learn a little bit about the coaching staff, learn a little bit about his hometown connections to any of the players. If he went to school with anybody that's a player or went to any of their former schools, that's always a bonus. So you want to look into stuff like that. Now, if you don't know the basic rules of football, honey, it's plenty of tools out there. Go to YouTube and figure that out. But you should know that a score is usually made on a touchdown, okay? Not a free throw or whatever other terms you confuse in home runs and shit like that, okay? It's a touchdown, sweetie. They run the ball to the other team's end zone, past the end zone. When they're close to the end zone, that's called the red zone. So that's within, I believe, 5 or 10 yards of the end zone is the red zone. So knowing that is essential. That means, bitch, when they say they're in the red zone, you better get his attention. If he's not paying attention, be like, baby, they in the red zone. And then shut the fuck up. Third down is another one where you need to shut the fuck up. Third down, red zone. Shut the fuck up. Penalties. Shut the fuck up. Field goals. Shut the fuck up. What else? That's pretty much it. Like, other than that, you could talk. You know what I mean? So root with him, cheer with him, all of that. I would say definitely do not, don't say shit you're not sure of, and don't ask a whole lot of fucking questions. I mean, like, if he's a more patient guy, he's willing to answer those questions during the game, you kind of got to feel that out. But you know your guy. Like, if he focused on that shit and he's a very focused guy, do not be sitting there asking him, oh, baby, what that mean? Girl, if you don't pull out your motherfucking phone and go figure that shit out yourself. Most of this shit is pretty fucking simple, though, okay? So you got offense and defense. You got offensive line and defensive line. Offense mean y'all scoring. Defense mean y'all defending. That's so easy. The quarterback is the center of the play action on the offensive side. He's the one who makes the calls the audibles. Audibles are just basically when they're trying to figure out what they're going to do if something changed, or if they're trying to change up the plan last minute because something went off and they didn't get a chance to discuss this in the huddle. That's a fucking audible. If I'm wrong, you niggas in the comments will definitely let me know. So, ladies, look in the comments, because I'm sure it's going to be some nigga like, nah, that ain't what it is. It's actually in da-da-da-da-da. Because these niggas love to mansplain some shit. But anyway, so you want to make sure you know the quarterback's names at the very least. I would say you're running, so your runners, that's going where most of the plays are going to happen, is your running backs. The running backs are the guys that run the ball. So the quarterback, he do a handoff to the running back, and the running back, he runs the ball, literally running to the next down. The downs are basically so you're basically given 10 yards to get it down. So if you don't make a down within 10 yards, you move on to the second and this, and the third and this, and the fourth and this. So each yard that you're off from the next down is what they say and that number. So if you're at second and third or second and 3, that means you are 3 yards away from getting to the next down, which is the 10 yards that they gave you for each chance to get there. So your second means you're on your second chance to make them 3 yards, to make them 10 yards, and now you're 3 yards short. You're at third and 12. That means you're on your third chance to try to make it to the 10 yards, but you've lost 2 yards. 10 plus 2, 12. Y'all with me? Cool. So, ladies, if you don't know nothing else but that, you good to go. Like I said, learn some of the roster, learn some of his favorite players for bonus points, but you don't have to. But definitely just know you need to shut the fuck up on the third and fourth downs and when they in the red zone. Because, bitch, you talking during that shit, he gonna be hella irritated because it's, like, really tight, okay? It's like, you know, if you've seen, like, gladiator movies and shit, like, it's very much, like, it's so violent, and it's, like, very much of an adrenaline rush. And a lot of times when it gets tight like that, like, they want to see somebody's head get knocked off. So if he don't see the result that he looking for and you start talking during that time, like, it could be a little irritating, okay? So I advise you to just shut the fuck up. Ladies, know when to shut the fuck up, okay? I have a problem with that myself, so that's why I ain't got no man right now. No, I'm just playing. I don't got a man right now because you niggas is scared. No. Anyway, don't know what to do with a bad bitch like me. Okay, it's giving Jessica Rabbit. Okay, who framed Roger Rabbit? Face ass. Anyway, so yes, that's my tips, ladies, for that Super Bowl. 57. It's Sunday, February 12th at 5:30 p.m. and that's in Central Time. So adjust for your time zone. Okay. All right. So ladies, and then you can go the fuck off during Rihanna's performance. He shouldn't mind that because he probably not gonna be paying no attention, but he might because Rihanna fine as shit. So let him gawk at Rihanna for a while. You might get your little bounces in on the side and let him know, hey, wear your little booty shorts. If he ain't got his friends over, you can wear your little booty shorts. If you got his friends over, put on your little football gear, put your sweats on, tie your hair up, but let him know, give him them looks during them sexy Rihanna songs. Like, let him know. Just on the side, like you want to dip off. After the game, we can head over here to the room, So that's it, ladies. So, I mean, if you blow Super Bowl Sunday, you can forget about Valentine's Day. Y'all heard that from me, okay? Fellas, if she fuck up Super Bowl Sunday, you have the right to revoke any Valentine's Day activities, okay? Because she should know. She should know what that means. All right. On to the next. So we had the what was this shit called? The Grammys, the 65th Grammys. I had a little bit of notes on that. Actually, before we talk about that, Kyrie Irving again in the news because he demanded a trade before the trade deadline, and Brooklyn obviously couldn't negotiate, couldn't figure out what to do. They were talking about they were going to bench him until he was traded. I guess because he was offered some deal that would have required that they not play him to risk injury. And so ultimately Brooklyn and Kyrie all agreed to trade with him to the Mavericks. So Kyrie Irving will be in a Dallas Mavericks uniform very soon. I believe Wednesday he should be playing for the Mavericks. A lot of people are disappointed. But I feel like a lot of people understand why he did it and why it's justified. Stephen A. Smith, I think, came out and called him, it was like idiotic and that he being selfish and stuff. But I mean, Stephen A. be off base a lot. I totally understand from Kyrie's perspective why you would do what you did when you did it. Like, they played with this man like over and over again. And like, you're at the peak right now. It's right before the All-Star break. Like, he got so many votes from fellow players. Like, he's at his, what I'm saying? He's like at the top of his game. Yeah, he missed a whole lot of fucking games with the Nets, but a lot of that was their fault. So like, I mean, y'all wanted to force vaccines. Y'all wanted to force him to apologize for posting the link. So it's like, Brooklyn, y'all ran y'all team how y'all wanted to run y'all team, and this is what y'all got. So KD is probably heated. I don't know how he feel about it, but KD is probably gone. So the Nets are going to have to build them a whole new franchise. But I feel like Joe side is to blame because, I mean, bro, what have y'all been doing? Like, y'all keep putting y'all business in the street. Y'all keep dragging all of this non-basketball stuff through the mud. And it's like, and Kyrie's supposed to pay for it? Like, no, that man he got to do what he got to do. So I commend Kyrie for doing what he has to do and moving on when it's time to move on. A lot of y'all can learn a valuable lesson about cutting your losses, knowing how to demand respect, and knowing your worth and your value and standing on that shit. That's my takeaway, because Kyrie is like, hey, I know I ain't about to fold to y'all no more. Y'all played me enough, and he saw his motherfucking chance and he took it. So I feel sorry for KD, but it's like, that's not his fault. He a grown ass man. He made his choices. So I wish Kyrie all the best. I wish KD all the best, and I hope that the Mavericks will do a better job of managing his talent and leaving the politics and all that other shit to the side. And what's his name? I forgot that the Dochick, something like that, whatever his name is. They have a European player over there that's kind of like been looking for a second guy, so another starter. So this is going to be great for them and could possibly make them contenders for a title. So I'm looking forward to that change, like I said. But I don't watch sports because the shit is too expensive. So any of y'all out there that want to donate me an NBA package, feel free. Now, I ain't got time to watch that shit. I just be looking at Dreamers Pro. That's a good podcast on sports. yeah, I mean, I catch my little inside the NBA clips here and there, and I get my little Bulls news, and that's it. Or when I do my gig at shout out to Privilege Restaurant and Bar on 69th in South Chicago. So I have a steady every other week gig there, and I watch the games when I see them on the TV. I be trying to sing and look at the games. It's bad, y'all. But other than that, I don't partake. I don't have time for it. I don't have the funds nor the time. It's too much. It's like a full-time job trying to keep up with all of this stuff that be going on. It's a lot. Anyway, so shout out to Kyrie. Congratulations on that trade. And for y'all who just want to keep criticizing and downing the man and talking crazy and calling him all types of names, like, shame on y'all. Like, really get it together. Nobody owes you sports announcers and fans or anybody. Like, if you're in your career and you're putting your body, this is the thing, they be putting their pro athletes put their bodies and their lives, their families, like, they put everything on the line for these teams, and like, they really dictate a lot of their lives. So for them to know their worth and to stand up and say, well, I want this for what I'm giving up, like, that's the minimum. Like, y'all really need to think about it. Like, just because you work your little office job and you just can't understand why you would walk away from X amount of millions of dollars, like, that's just not the thing. You know what I mean? Like, people need to really I'm sorry, this old lady in the alley, like, doing shit with the trash. I'm just trying to figure this out. Anyway, but yeah, it's just not the thing to do. Like, we got to do better about criticizing people who make the best decisions for themselves. Like, in his position, what would you do? You don't fucking know, because you're not in his position. So let the man do what he got to do and stop disrespecting these men, especially these black men, just because they not moving how you want them to move. Because when these non-black men move how they want to move, y'all have nothing to say. Anyway, on to the Grammys. So I didn't really watch that either. Y'all, I don't be having the time. Like, who has the time? I got things to do, guitar to practice, workouts to finish, a daughter to chastise. Like, okay. So anyway, Trevor Noah hosted the Grammys. I didn't see much of his clips, but they were mediocrely gray. Gray. They were beige funny. They were beige. That's so rude. I'm not gonna be a colorist. But yeah, Trevor Noah, he not that funny to me. Okay. So anyway, one thing I want to say is, when are we gonna get an Afrobeats category? They keep lumping global performance with, like, it's like basically the throwaway box for like everything that don't fit into like Latin or reggae. Like, it's just like the dump grounds for everything else of ethnic music, and it's like really trash. Like, if it's not American R&B and pop or Latin, then they just throw global in, that into global, and I hate that. Like, can we not? It's so much. You got Caribbean, you got Afrobeats, like, and then Afrobeats got all of these other genres within Afrobeats. Like, it's just too much. Like, y'all need to do something about that. Stop hating on the African artists, okay? Anyway, so Beyonce won, I believe, 3 Grammys. Traditional R&B performance for Plastic Off the Sofa, R&B song for Cuff It, which beat Money Long's Hours and Hours. I'm sure, which was a tight race, because the Hours and Hours was doing his thing. Still is. But Money did win R&B performance for Hours and Hours, so congratulations to her. Beyonce also won for dance recording, Break My Soul. We already knew she was gonna get something for that, because that just took over everything. And then Lizzo beats Beyonce's Break My Soul out, and Adele Easy on Me for Record of the Year. And from what I saw Lizzo state, the last Black woman to win Record of the Year was Whitney Houston for I Will Always Love You. So that is huge for sis, okay? And she did a Bay reveal too. I'm like, come on, Lizzo, with the wins, period. You better treat her right, my nigga. All right, and then we got Robert Glasper, who won for our Best R&B album, Black Radio 3. Linger a While by Samara, I can't say that, sorry. Samara Joy won Jazz Vocal Album. And then I love Natalia Lafourcade. She won for Regional Mexican Album with Un Canto por Mexico, El Musical. Bad Bunny had a dope ass performance. Even though he was like wearing a t-shirt and slacks, like it was giving very much like your TO like just came over just to drop off some shit. Like what the fuck? Like did he not know he was performing? But Bad Bunny looked good in whatever the fuck. He was just so cute and brown and shit. I'm like, go ahead, buddy. He won for a Música Urbana album for Un Verano Sin Ti, A Summer Without You. So that was dope. Tropical Latin album, my boy Mark Anthony. I've been loving me some Mark Anthony for the longest. He won for Payaoy, which means I go over there. There I go. All right, and then Latin rock and alternative, Moto Mami by Rosalia won. I don't think I listened to that album though. I heard a couple songs of it though. Rosalia is dope. She's very she got a different sound, and I like that she explores a lot of like merging of like the flamenco because she is Spanish. Like literally from Spain, not Spanish like niggas like to just say because you Latino or speak Spanish, you Spanish, like literally from Spain, the nationality. So Moto Mami, I need to take a listen, but Rosalia, like I was saying, is very she explores that flamenco culture from Spain, and then she merges it with a lot of the more urban stuff, and it's very it's an eclectic sound. I love her visuals. She's killing the visuals. Like my girl, Kali Uchis, I love Kali because she has that more like neo soul kind of vibe to it with the Latin influence. But I'm thinking I can't think of her name right now. What is her name? It's not Natalie. Is it? God damn it. There's another artist. I love her so much. She's so weird and unique and just off the chain. But I cannot think of her name right now. She's more like hip hop, but like she's been doing some strange shit too. So just shout out to like the Latina artists right now that are coming up that are like really like taking a lot of chances and doing some really unique stuff that's gotten them a lot of attention and well deserved accolades. Anyway, and then pop solo, Adele Easy on Me won that, and Dave Chappelle notably won for comedy album for The Closer. So there was a lot of other winners and performances, but like I said, I didn't watch, so I just pulled the highlights, and those were my takeaways, and I just wanted to shout out congratulations to those artists, and just to say that, you know, as musicians, and artists, some of my local fellow artists, we need to definitely explore, you know, being outside of the box more and not like allowing, you know, what's been done before to dictate what we do, you know. So, you know, support your local artists, support your more eclectic artists, you know, give them a chance, bro. Like, I mean, everything don't have to sound like what it already sounds like, and as artists we should never be like chasing what's popular or chasing what is a guaranteed success. You know, you need to take those chances as artists and go for, you know, what could possibly change the landscape, you know, because you never know. All right, and so on to so I wanted to give a quick review of You People. I was not feeling it. I mean, I saw a lot of people gas it up, and I was like, okay, well, let me go take a look. Now, I'm a huge fan of Eddie Murphy, but like my standards on Eddie Murphy, like I'm a snob. Like they're high. Like, come on, this is the man who made Boomerang and Coming to America and Harlem Nights and Trading Places and 48 Hours. Like the list goes on. Like I cannot like just let y'all just be like letting him do anything. It's, you know, I mean, I understand he getting older and sometimes goals and objectives change and your outlooks change, but like I can't just accept anything. I feel like the movie was like very well casted. I love the cast. So like of course, Eddie, my favorite. Jonah Hill, I like, he's always funny to me, and just seems like a cool ass person. But then like we get into like, okay, so like Lauren, why are you doing this? Lauren London did a great job. Julia Louise Dreyfus, I love her from Seinfeld. She plays Shelley. Nia Long, I think she did a great job with her role. Kenya Barris was the I believe the producer or the director. I believe he's a director. He's notably known for Blackish. David Duchovny did a great job in his role. I loved his character. I feel like he was one of the scene stealers for me. Like every time I love David Duchovny though from X-Files, so I'm biased. But like I feel like he was still in the scene like every time. Young Miami, her lines I feel like were like very typical and like I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I think she did a great job in like being that she's not an actress and making like, you know, her acting debut. I think this is for her. So I commend her for that. But I just feel like it wasn't giving all that it should have gave. But for the role that she played, I mean, I think she did a great job. Lala Anthony, you know, she's not new to this, so we know she's gonna do a great job. I think Young Miami was in one of them TV series though, so maybe this isn't her acting debut, but I think it's her big screen debut, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't give a real hard laugh until Mike Epps. Deion Cole and Mike Epps was like my first real laughs. Like the Tron fucking theme wedding shit from Deion Cole, hilarious. And it was very much giving, he probably did a lot of that off the fucking dome. Like he's just so fucking random. Mike Epps always kills it for me, so he was like the highlight for me. But other than that, I just never like really got a good laugh. I think the only other time I can remember laughing was like the Kofi Setting Fire, because I love me some physical comedy. I'm a Lucille Ball type of girl, you know. And then the scene, like when they were arguing, I think him and Lauren London, Jonah Hill and Lauren London's characters were arguing. And she was like, and don't come in the bathroom with me. And he was like, why would I want to be in the bathroom? Just like, oh yeah, you always in the bath. Like that was funny to me because I've been in one of them relationships. I've been that one too, and I like oh, what we doing in the bathroom, boo? You taking a poop? It's okay. Let me brush my teeth. Like it happens, right? So that was funny to me. But other than that, like the pacing of the movie was kind of whack. The script was very like lackluster, and it just wasn't as funny. Like I'm just looking at all these people talking about, oh my god, I was in stitches. I can't wait to watch it again. I'm like, who paid y'all to say this? Like y'all can't be fucking serious. I'm sorry, but y'all need to raise the bar up. But if you enjoyed the movie and you gonna watch it over and over again, that's fine. But my issue is like they went very light on the Jewish jokes. I feel like very light in comparison to how they did black people. But we ain't surprised. David Chappelle talked about that. So, you know, Dave Chappelle already got into that. How like it's okay to joke about us, but when it come to y'all don't want to hear it. So it was very light, I feel like, on they dug more into Farrakhan than they ever did it to any Jewish leadership. Like ever. And then my other thing is like, of course, Jonah Hill and Lauren London would never, like, I could never see them being a realistic couple ever. Like, it just, the chemistry was like not even there. It was so awkward. And then I'm like, maybe I missed it, but have we ever gotten, like, we always like doing the interracial black and white, but we like never get the black Latino interracial, or did I miss that? Like the last thing I remember was like Mississippi Masala or something with like Denzel Washington. Like why we never get that? And I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, you know, because I did have my share of Latino men in my past, but you know what I mean? Like where the fuck is that at? Like I feel like that's more realistic, especially nowadays, than it was, you know, than this Jewish black connection that I feel like is very forced. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we saw with the Kyrie Irving tweet situation, like that shit is far removed from being a regular occurrence. Like there's so much unresolved issues between our communities that will probably never be addressed, because when we had the opportunity to bring that shit to the forefront with Kyrie Irving situation, and again now with this movie, we don't do it. We want to talk superficially and we want to address the shit that we address about black people, but we never want to dig deeper into what the Jewish community has done to black people or other people. So it's whatever, you know. What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, some people just safe and some people not, and that's just how it is. And usually black folk end up on the unsafe side, as Tyre Nichols. And I didn't really want to talk about the Tyre Nichols situation, but since I brought it up, I'm glad that they are now looking to suspend the white officers and EMT personnel that were involved. But it took way too long. But that just shows you the complexion for the protection goes across the board. The 5 black officers were immediately, I believe, fired and charged, but the white officers have only been like suspended. So like, miss me with this bullshit. Like, y'all, it's a lot. That's why I didn't want to get into it. I have not even watched the full video because I can't. I just don't keep engaging in black trauma. I just refuse to do it because it starts to make you accept being a lesser entity, and I refuse to do it. I know who the fuck I am, and I know where I came from, and I deserve nothing but all of the fucking spoils. You know what I mean? All of the fruit of the land, like, especially as black Americans, like, we built this country. Like, they should be throwing roses at our fucking feet, quite fucking honestly. And I don't want to hear no shit about that. Like, it's not about reverse racism or doing some shit, you know, oppressing the oppressor. Like, no. But at the end of the day, like, that's why y'all don't want to teach critical race theory. That's why y'all want to and then I saw something the other day where they're trying to overshadow queer theory over in AP African American history classes. They want to overshadow queer theory into the black history. Can we just have black history? Like, no shade to the queer community, but like, can queer people have their own history? Like, yes, there's some intersection, but like, for y'all to be like putting this as the icing on our cake, like, the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, James Baldwin was gay, but like, that wasn't like the totality of who he was, nor was it the totality or the nucleus of his work. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, yes, it was a part of him, and yes, it can be mentioned. I'm not saying that, but like, for y'all to like really like have that, well, you can blame DeSantis too for like pinpointing that as a, you know, as obviously something to draw ire to the concept. But like, to be so focused on bringing other cultures and other marginalized communities up with the black history and up with the black movement, to me, it completely waters down what we're doing. And this has been the oldest play in the book. Like, we have constantly had to fight for our spot and have constantly been pushed to the side and marginalized by other colored community, other immigrants, other you know, like even with the migration situation in Inglewood right now, or not Inglewood, Woodlawn, with Lori Lightfoot bringing a lot of these Venezuelan immigrants in that are being bused here and giving them hotels and housing. And then now they're, after backlash, after the community says something, now it's like, oh, well, we'll open these schools and hotels up to also to residents of Chicago who are unhoused. It's like, why did it take that to do that? So this is why you're getting this vitriol against some of the migrants coming here, because like, y'all always elevate other people other than the people y'all got at home. So black Americans have been the foundation of this country, and I feel like we should be treated as such. We're not. We should be first in line to a lot of shit, and we're not. And so that's not to take away from nobody else, but at the end of the fucking day, if it does take away from somebody else, you got to ask yourself why, and are we deserving of it? Hell fucking yeah. Like, you don't have American history and American culture and American nothing without black fucking Americans. And like, I mean, prove me fucking wrong. So that's all I got to say about that. And you know, like I said, the gay community, you can say what you want, but it's like, blacks have always been, like, we do have some homophobia that we need to address in the community, but overall, blacks don't even have the time to oppress nobody else. Like, you know, us making a joke or saying a word here and there, yes, can be harmful, and yes, it should not be tolerated. But to be like, overall, we're the oppressors of another community, it's never fucking been like that. Same thing with the Jewish community. So I just really would hope that we take a better look at how we elevate other people's causes and movements, and then we end up getting left in the dust. We did the same thing with the feminist movement, and look where it got us. So like, let's wake up, y'all. So with that being said, I think I'm through. Oh, I also wanted to mention there was a school worker who stole $1.5 million in chicken wings. This was, I believe, in Harvey. Like, what the fuck? And they don't have no account on what happened. It was an older lady. She used to be a lunchroom worker, and then they promoted her to something to do with like the administrative role of the food in the kitchen. And they said when the schools were closed, so everybody was on quarantine and a lot of the students were remote learning, but they were doing meal pickups for like lunch and dinner, that she was basically putting in these extraneous chicken wing orders. And the kicker is they don't serve chicken wings to the students, to the kids, because they have bones in them, and obviously a choking hazard or whatever. So like they're like, where the fuck was these chicken wings going? Sis, where was these chicken wings going? I hope she got some money stashed up off of this shit, because bitch, wings was expensive, especially during that time. Like, was she responsible for the fucking chicken wing shortage? Like, she got some questions to answer. So I want to dig a little bit deeper into that. We might have to talk on that on another episode, but I'm gonna end it right there. We'll talk about some of this other stuff I had notes on maybe next week. I did want to talk about that Chinese spy balloon and how Biden took a little long to respond to it, and now they're saying that there have been multiple other balloons during previous administrations, which seems to be their always eternal scapegoat, is to mention what previous administrations done. But yeah, I don't know if this was a spy balloon. I feel like maybe it was just a civilian aircraft, because I don't see why China would be trying to blow it up right now, especially when I just saw something about they were offering like 500,000 airline tickets for free to anybody who wanted to travel to Hong Kong. So like, I don't know if people are joking like they looking for prisoners of war. Black people, we don't trust nothing, do we? Well, no, let me take that back. We trust a lot of shit that come dressed in democratic blue, which is some bullshit as well. But that's a whole nother story, another rabbit hole to go down. But I'm about to end this episode. So yeah, we'll find out more about that Chinese spy balloon as they collect the parts that were shot up over it was like Chesapeake Bay or some shit. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't think China was really trying to pull it, but we'll see. They said it was civilian aircraft. I'm hoping it wasn't an act of aggression, because the timing is like way off China. Like, what are y'all doing? All right, y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy your Super Bowl, and we definitely gonna talk about that halftime performance and the game on the next episode. Bye. If only for one night. Now if I could, I'd make you rule the whole galaxy. And if that ain't good enough, please come conquer all of me. Yeah, boy, I tried.